So let's talk for a little bit about how we can modify environments both for light and for sound. What do you see here? There's lamps, soft lighting, sunlight, natural lighting. What do you see to absorb sound? Yeah, pillows, soft textures, carpet. Anything else? Yes.
Covering for the furniture.
Yes. That can easily be taken off and washed.
Rugs to absorb sound.
Yes.
Came in right before you said that.
Yep.
Pillows and carpets.
Yeah. Yeah. And natural lighting with the guy who's blowing the bubbles. You can also, in terms of lighting and light, you all probably have done some of those really big bubbles where you make your own bubble solution. You can have like a really big hoop where the kids can make really big bubbles. That's more visually detectable. So that's another way to make things lighter and more visible. Great answers. So these are some of the things that we saw. One of the things that I would caution you on, when we do lamps like that, I like having lamps and natural lighting. I bolt them to the wall because I've had so many kids pull them over on themselves. So anytime I have a pole lamp or a lamp like that, I bolt it to the wall for safety. I also bolt my bookshelves to the wall because those have been pulled over too. We want our lighting to be adequate but not too bright. Watch for reflections on pictures. That can be distracting to kids. I use plants as much as possible, but you want to know which ones are non-toxic, not to use the ones that are toxic for children. Using fabric. And with music, we want to have different types of music available for children. Sometimes we want upbeat music, sometimes we want very slow, calming music, depending on our children and the time of day. So let's look at how we can modify our environments in terms of display. What do you see here? How have we made modifications in terms of display?
Artwork.
The artwork. Yep. Children's artwork on the wall.
It's like things are labeled.
Yes. Things are labeled on the shelves.
Pictures.
Yes. It's really helpful for kids that need to know what's coming next. For children who lose it when they don't know what's coming next, the visual schedule is very helpful, and we can have places where we can close off what's happened already. Breakfast is done, we close it off. Outside time is done, we close it off so that they can see what's coming and what's done. Really helpful for kids who need that kind of sequencing help, and adults. Yes.
Curtains.
Yes. There are curtains, which let the light still come in, but also add softness to the room. It's a good point.
Picture schedule.
Yes. Yep.
All on their level. Labels.
Yes.
Pictures with the labels.
Yes. Do you see some of the display that's probably out of the kids' eye level? There is some here. And what I really like when I walk into a classroom, I like for all the materials that's on the walls to be at my arm level or below. When I walk in and I see that whole empty band up above, I actually really like that because the kids can't see it. And when I see that, I know that this classroom is designed for the children in the classroom. If I want things for parents, I'm going to put it on a bulletin board outside my classroom or on the door. So I like things all at the kids' eye level. I mean, that says this is for you. Tells the children that they're important. Anything else?
Visual timers.
Yes, it's great to have visual timers. In centers, we can use wind-up timers. We can use egg timers. We can use digital timers. Kids like that because they can look at it and see they've got a minute left or they have time left or they don't have time left. It really helps children regulate who are having trouble regulating how long they can play. Okay. So these are some of the things that we talked about in display. We want to have children's artwork as much as possible and not prescriptive artwork, not the cut and paste kind, but the stuff where kids do whatever they want to. We want the display to be stimulating but not overstimulating. And that's going to depend on your classroom. Some classrooms are more bare than others, and it really depends on the teacher's preference to some extent and the children's needs as well. We want the content to be at the children's developmental level. So in some classrooms, I'm going to have letters and numbers, and in some classrooms, I'm only going to have pictures, depending on who my children are. We want to have feeling displays, so that if children aren't able to tell me how they feel, they can go to the wall and touch the picture that's like for mad, or the picture that's like for sad. So that if they can't tell me, they've got a way to visually tell me how they feel. And as someone pointed out, we want to have visual reminders to tell children how much time is left to help them learn how to finish a task. Okay. So we've got a great video to finish with today that's going to show you another good example of a preschool with children with special needs that were included.
We see so much progress in our inclusive settings. It just is a lot happier of an environment for all kids, for families, as well as our staff. So it's just a win-win.
I see how much empathy the inclusive classroom builds. The kids get so excited when they get to actually do what all the typically developing kids are doing, when they're helping each other out. Just having everybody being involved has just been wonderful to see.
Inclusive classrooms are great for all of the kids. For the children who have an IEP, they learn from their peers. They want to learn from their peers. They want to imitate what they do. They watch them carefully. The typical peers, they might, in that very first week or so, say, well, doesn't he talk? Or why can't he walk? And ask some questions, but you give them a very simple explanation, or it's just like, well, she's going to learn and you're going to help teach her. How about that? And then they just, oh, okay. And then they're fine with it. And then they don't even seem to notice it. I think that's so wonderful. We've got a variety of different adaptations in here, and they are so helpful for the kids. If they can't tell us maybe verbally what they want for lunch, we've got our little communication menu, letting us know what they want, or making choices, or telling us yes, no by using a device, or pointing and picking things up, and the kids that are working on something, like feeding themselves, and wouldn't be able to do it with a regular spoon if they have an adapted spoon that's built up and it's got a curved bowl. We have this really nice equipment for outside. So we've got, an adapted bicycle that the kids can get on, and the gait trainers for the kids who aren't able to walk. So often they would be sitting at the sidelines and just watching the other kids, and you get some of the equipment that allows them to be out there doing it too. Kids can have some control. That builds their self-esteem, that they, I can do it myself.
Families don't feel segregated. Families feel included too.
Kai has cerebral palsy and he's pretty involved. I was very fearful that it was just not going to work. I was really committed to making it work, and I came at the beginning and helped him transition. And I don't know if that was more helpful or not to the, to the teachers. They were very willing to accommodate me, and they didn't seem like they were annoyed that I was there, which was very nice. 11. The staff here is amazing, and they've obviously been doing this a long time, and they have so much care and compassion for the kids that it makes a huge difference. I hear stories about how parents had to really fight to get this. It's like there's this fight between schools and parents, and I've never felt that way. Everybody's been so great to us and been very accommodating to our needs, so I appreciate that.
One of the things that I think is most changing in terms of having inclusive environments is also for the change in teachers.
3, 4, 5.
It's taught me, how to have them all work together, what adaptations I might need to make when I'm doing my instruction, looking back on their goals and seeing how I can adapt my specific lessons. It's just been a wonderful experience.
we're able to kind of look over, oh, okay, this is what we're working on, this is our theme, these are what are some activities that we want to throw in there, and how can I make those accommodations I need for, you know, this child who has poor vision, and this child who really can't sit, or this child who he has motor control issues.
One of the keys for the collaboration is being in the classroom together and having open communication.
I get to even do some of the small groups, looking at the whole entirety, and they all benefit from it. The kids do get more individual attention, whether they're a child on an IEP or one that comes in without an IEP. I think it benefits everybody.
We have had teachers who have indicated to us that they would never go back to teaching a classroom without kids with special needs, because it has added an element to their quality of teaching. It has made them become better teachers, and it has been more rewarding for them. So I think that's a powerful statement too of the power of inclusion. It's not just a win for our students with special needs, but it's a win for all students, because they are the ones that are going to make a difference and make a more inclusive life for everybody.
You can turn the light back up, Paul. Thank you. So a lot of the things that we've talked about, we saw in this video. What are some of the things that you saw, that ways that they naturally included their kids with special needs?
The outdoor equipment.
They had outdoor equipment designed for the children's needs.
Holding them at group times.
Yeah, including them on their laps at group time.
Mealtime.
Mealtime, they had lots of adaptations at mealtime. They had adaptations for the spoon, for the bowl, for the communication.
I had equipment that helped the children help.
They had equipment to help the children help each other. Yeah, the peer-to-peer thing, you could see it going on. Yeah,
Tons of open space.
yeah. They did have lots of space. We don't all have that luxury.
Not making a big deal about the difference.
Yes. Children have questions about any difference. If we answer it honestly and simply, they will move on, as she said, as that teacher said. Yes.
Modify the activities throughout the routine so all could participate.
Yeah. And I like the fact that she said as they learned to modify for their kids with special needs, they were also modifying for all the children, and all of the children had a better experience.
Adaptation and modification so everyone is included.
Yeah. And if, with some planning, we can modify the activities that we do so that kids can participate at all levels. For some of my kids, some of their participation simply is to activate a switch that plays the music, or activate a switch that turns the lights on, or activate a switch that opens the door. Yeah.
Making not only the child feel included, but the families as well.
Yes. That mother clearly felt welcome. She probably stayed a long time in the beginning, and they let her do that until she was satisfied. That's important. She then trusted that staff, and the families were welcome. And if we welcome them, they'll actually help us. Cool. Okay. So, you made it to Friday afternoon. Thank you for your attention. Do you have questions at this point? I have one challenge for all of you. In the next week, I'd like you to think about some action you can implement at your center, either related to screening or assessment, or inclusion of your kids who have special needs, whether or not they're diagnosed with a special need. In the next week, I want you to think about one action that you can implement and implement it, and then email the three of us or Walt and tell us what one action you've done different in the next week that relates to some of the things we've talked about today. Questions? Questions online? Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.